Welcome to another Systeme.io lesson.
In this Systeme.io lesson, I'm going to show you through the settings section of each funnel page. This is where you'll set up your SEO, your page titles, your thumbnails, everything that's kind of hidden behind the scenes that you need to set up as well. Loading up your first funnel page, go to settings up at the top. This whole left sidebar will change and it comes up with a whole bunch of things you can change. The first setting here is all about the fonts and the styles and the colors. So you can choose from a bunch of Google fonts and you can quickly change the whole look of your page. This first one affects this main text here, the smaller text, not the titles. So you could change it to something completely different, making sure it's still readable. You can change how thick or thin the font is. Generally, normal or regular is fine for the smaller text here. Font size really only is affected when you've started a new page and you're building everything from scratch. That seems to be not super effective after the page is built. And the same with line height. Something between 22 and 27 line height, that's the gap between these multiple lines here, is usually pretty good. Colors of links. This is if there's any text links in your page, you can make them a different color so they stand out. I'll make them aqua for this example. Set my color there. That's going to affect the whole page, any links on the page. So I'm going to make this a link. Save. And you can see there it's now aqua. It stands out amongst the rest of the text. Underneath that is text color. That is obviously the color of the main part of text. I'll make it red so you can see what changed. You can see it changed all the small text here to my new red color. So you would choose black or charcoal, or maybe a navy, something easy to read and stand out on the background. Moving down the page, same kind of settings for the headings. That's these larger fonts here. You can change the style. You can change how thin or thick the font is depending on your font. Some only have bold as an option. This one has quite a few options. You can go super bold, and that will affect every heading on the page. Moving down, you can choose another language. If English is not your target market, you can choose another language for your page here. Then we have background. This is the solid color behind most of your page. If I choose a darker color there, you'll notice anywhere that I've not selected another color, it's going to come through. You've also got the option of setting a background image. I'm going to upload one here. I've got this ocean image here I can select. It will upload and I can insert it as a background and it's coming through there. It will replace the color you've got. It'll go over the top. You can also choose if it repeats, see how it's repeating just here, or if it fills the full width, which is much better. You can change the alignment, the top, bottom or middle of the page. And you've also got the option to blur, which can make some really cool effects as well. Moving down to the section that you're all here for, which is SEO, search engine optimization. Anything that you put in here is what the search engines will read. If I open up one of the pages that I have all the details filled out on, you'll see more clearly what you need to do here. So with the title, that is what appears here on this tab and in all the previews. Free funnel template to sell digital products. You'll see here, free funnel template to sell digital products. It's the same. That's where that text is pulled from, is this section here in the settings. So with your title, you want to repeat some keywords that make sense for your business. I've got things like Systeme.io, sell digital products, but it still makes sense if I read it in a sentence. The same with the description. You can make that a little larger here so you can type more out. I've got a description that actually makes sense when you read it. Use my free 7-page funnel template, but I am also using keywords that people might type into Google to try and find a page like this. Same goes with the keywords. You're going to make short phrases, things that are 2, 3, 4 words long, followed by a comma and a space. These are not hashtags. You don't have a hashtag symbol. Websites do not use hashtags. They use keywords instead. Similar concept, but they're separated by a comma and a space. And I've got a bunch of them in here. All similar, but variations of the same kind of search terms. Author, that's optional. I like to put my name on the page. I think it helps with people being able to find these pages if they search for my name in particular, or my company name. And social image, this is the image that appears on social media if you paste the link. I'll show you an example. So I've sent a message to someone here on Facebook. I've included some text and then my link is in that area. And Facebook automatically brings in an image here. It puts this little thumbnail in. That is the image that you set here in social image. If you don't place one in there, you'll end up with a random picture from your page, and sometimes it's blank. So you can really capture people's attention and get more clicks on your link if you include this social image, and it's something a little bit nicer than, half blurry logo. Next thing down the page is a big one. Hide from search engines. You do not want to tick this if you want this page to come up on Google. The only reason you would tick hide from search engines, I do that for my thank you pages, for example. I don't want them coming up in searches. I do want them to be behind the scenes and hidden. But any page that's forward facing, collecting emails, advertising something, keep this unticked. The next section down in settings is tracking. This is only used if you're running Facebook ads to your page or your funnel. They will give you some code that you need to place in, and you can edit the header or footer code here. Systeme has some good step-by-step instructions in their help section. I'll link that down below on how to set up a pixel for the first time when you are running Facebook ads. But that is what this section is. If you're not running ads, you can leave that well alone and leave it as is. The last thing on the page here is affiliation. Display the affiliate badge. So this is that little button down here. I'll turn it on, bottom right hand corner, powered by Systeme. If you're on a free account, that's stuck on, you cannot turn that off. But if you're on any of their paid plans, you do have the option to switch that off so the page looks a little bit cleaner. You will notice down the bottom here some icons. This is the mobile version and the desktop version of your page. I will go into further detail on that in another video. That's a whole nother section in itself. But if you do click it, you can get a preview of what your page looks like on a mobile phone, roughly. I do still suggest you open it on a phone and have a really good look at it. Make sure you don't need to change any of your spacing or sizing and it just looks tidy. But that's what this little thing is. It is a preview, its best guess on how it's going to look on a phone. That is the whole settings area. I hope that's been helpful and you can get a bit of an idea of what you can set up on every page. This is individual on every page of your funnel, so you will need to do this multiple times and just vary what you write here in your search engine optimization. This should be very targeted to what's actually on the page. Try not to be too general because we want these to come up for multiple different searches. I hope you found this video helpful and I'll see you in the next one.